Hey guys, welcome back to Consistent Code. So today's problem of the day is two numbers with odd occurrences. So what we need to do, we are given an array of size n, and let's consider this example. So in this case, what we need to find is that the question says that all the elements have even occurrence except two elements which have odd occurrence. For example, we can say in this case that 4 occurs 1, 2, that's two times, and 2 occurs 1 and 2 times, and 3 also occurs 1 and 2 times, but 5 occurs only one time and 1 occurs only one time. So 5 and 1 are having odd occurrences, so we need to find those two elements and return them in descending order like this. Now how to approach this problem? So if let's just consider this example. So one approach that we can think of will be using you can say hashing, that you can just create a hash table and store the frequency of all the elements. For example, I can just start iterating over this array, and I can just say, like, if I'm having first element 4, then I can say this is the element and this is its frequency. So I can just say force frequency is 1, then I will move on to 2 and I will add force frequency as 1, then I will move on to 4 and I can just say that force frequency is incremented to 2, then 5 its frequency is 1, and then 2 its frequency will be incremented to 2, and then 3 and again 3, so 3's frequency will be 2, and then we have a 1, that frequency is 1. Now after storing all these elements, we can just iterate over this hash table and see if the frequency is even, then we will skip it. If it is an odd, we can just take that element and we will find the two elements, and just we need to check if the first element, let's say a and b are the elements. If a is less than b, then we can just swap a and b in our answer so that we get it in the way we want, that is the greater element should be the first element. So after this, this becomes one of the approach, but what will be the time complexity? The time complexity will be O n, and the space complexity will also be O of n because we are using a hash table. So but we want to optimize this approach further, so we can even optimize this approach further. So let's see how we can do that. For this, the technique which we can use or algorithm will be bit manipulation. Okay, the one thing which I want you to observe here is that all the elements occur even times except two. Okay, this is what the question says. We need to use this information given, and only two elements occur odd time. That means that what can we think of, right? uh, you should be something like XOR operation should be clicking to your mind, right? Why? Because if you will take a XOR of an element n with n XOR n, then you will get a 0. Or if you will take XOR of same element even times, you get result as 0. But if it is odd times, you get result as the number n. So we can use this XOR operation here, right? So how to use it, let's see that now. So this was our array. So what we can do, let's say that we want, suppose we are having 4, let's say our XOR is 0. So we can just XOR it with, you can see that 4 occurs 2 times, so 4 XOR 4 will be a 0, and then 2 occurs 2 times, so 2 XOR 2 again will be a 0, and then we have 3 XOR 3, that will also turn out to be a 0. So the only elements which will be left will be the required elements, that is 5 XOR 1. right? This will be the answer which will be left if we will take XOR of the complete array. Now the only thing that is left is to separate these two elements and find our answer. We can easily get the XOR of required numbers, that is 5 XOR 1, but we want them separated. So let's see how we can separate them. For this we can just look over a property. For example, if I'm having 5 XOR 1, uh, so we are having 5 XOR 1, and in bits 5 will be 1 0 1 XOR 0 0 1. So we can see it like this, and its XOR will be 0 0 and 1, that is a 4. Okay, so now in this XOR value, what can we observe? That XOR of 0 and 1 is a 1, and 1 and 1 will be a 0. So if we will have in this final XOR value of the two elements, if we find the first set bit, then this first set bit from the right should tell us the difference between them. How? As you can see in this 5, the first bit, this bit, the first bit is 1, and in the other element it is 0, because if it would have been same, then it should be 0. So the first set bit in our XOR of two elements will help us in separating the two elements. So what we can do, we can just check for every element in this, if this set bit we found in this XOR of two elements, that is at 0 1 and 2 at the second position, so we can just 4 XOR 1 0 0, and we can just check if it is 0, then this is belonging to number 2, right? And otherwise if it is 1, then, or you can say if it is not equals to 0, then it belongs to number 1, that is it should contribute to this one whenever the set bit is this one. So if we can just take XOR of, like if we will see 4, it is 1 0 0, so it is having first set bit, so we can just say that our first number will be XORed by 0 XOR 4, and then we will check the second number, that will be 0 1 0. So this bit is not set, so we will not consider this, and we will again move to this 4. So it is again having this bit set, so we will consider this 0 XOR 4, and then we will consider this bit, this is 101, it is having this bit as set, so we will consider this. In the next bit we have 0 1 0 again, so we will not be considering because this bit is 0. In the next bit we have 0 1 1, so we will not consider it. In the next bit it is again 0 1 1, we will not consider it. And then we have this 0 0 1, so this bit is again 0, we will not consider it. So 4 or 0 will again be 0, so we will get the first number as 5, which is the required number. And now how to find the second number, that is this 1, this is first and this is second. So we have already calculated this 5 XOR 1, right? And now we have got the first element 5, so we can just XOR 5 with this 5 XOR 1, so that will become 5 XOR 1 XOR 5, that gives us the second number 1. Now if you did not get it, I would like you to rewind the video and watch it, because it may be a little bit complex, but I hope you will understand it. So now let's just go and code this answer. So first what we are gonna do, we will just create a variable, let's say x, to take the XOR of the complete array. Okay, and now we will just take the XOR of complete array, and also let's say this is long long, and this is also long long. Okay, so we will just do x XOR equals to the ith element of array. Now we have the XOR of complete array, right? So now we will find the first set bit from the right. Okay, so let's see, let's say that that position is initially 0. Now we will find that set bit. So we can say that while our XOR value and if I just end it with 1 left shift p, if this value is not is equals to 0, I want p to be incremented. Basically what I am doing here, let me explain it to you again. Suppose our set bit was let's say 100, so I'm just considering p equals to 0. That means I'm considering this bit as set. So I'm just now taking and with the 1 left shift 0. 1 left shift 0 means simply 1. 1 left shift 1 means 10, and 1 left shift 2 means 100. Okay, so if I'm considering p initially 0, then I'm just making it and with a 1, so that will be a 0. So if I want to find this position, then I will get this when I will just do a and with 100. In that case it will be a 100 and not a 000, and that position is what I want. Okay, so I'm just saying whenever I'm getting one this position p, left shift position p, with this XOR value, this is x, then if I'm getting a 0, then I'm gonna increment p by 1, so that I can in the next iteration I will do it like this. In this case also I will again get this, so I will again increment p by 1. Then in the next iteration I will get it 100, and whenever I get this is a not 0, whenever this is not a 0, that means this is the position I want, this one. So in that case I will get p equals to 2. So that's what we are gonna do here. So now we will have got the position of p. Okay, so now we just need to find a number 1. So let's say int num1 equals to 0 initially, and now we will find this in the array. So I less than n, I plus plus, and also let's consider everything as long only. And now we want that this num1 should be XORed with, first we will check if the current element I and this element, that is 1 left shift p, is not equals to 0. This element is not equals to 0, that means we want this element. So we can just say num1 XOR equals to arr I. Okay, and we will, after this loop we would have found a num1. And how to find num2? Int num2 will be x XOR with num1. Okay, and now we just need to return our answer, right? So I can just say that let's say vector int answer equals to num1 and num2, and final step is to make it in decreasing order. So I can just say that if num1, or let's say answer 0, is greater than answer 1, we want to swap answer 0 and answer 1. In fact I should say this is an answer 0 is less than answer 1. Now it should be correct, and then we can simply return the answer. And one more correction I would like to make here is that we will make this num2 also as a long, and this vector type also as a long. Okay, so now let's just compile and run our code. So it's working fine. So now let's just submit the code. And we have solved this problem successfully. And I hope you liked the explanation. And if you did so, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you next time.